Do 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 do. Good evening, Kitty Coop. Two, three, four. As we wish for more. Where? Hello. Gianna Marie. Good evening, Gianna Marie. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope that you and Kitty Coop both had an excellent day today. All the trivia questions tonight are on the chicken coop murders. Chicken coop murders. Ooh. Da, 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 da. It's cold there and it feels like it's 33 degrees. Yikes. I'm so done with winter. I don't want to be cold anymore this year. Gianna Marie studied for tonight's trivia. Good for you. So everybody copy off of Gianna Marie. It's 54 degrees here currently right now. Makeup and More with Christy. Good evening, Makeup and More with Christy. Welcome to tonight's trivia. All the questions tonight we will be answering in this trivia, and they're all multiple choice questions displayed on screen, and they're on the subject of the chicken coop murders. Chicken coop murders. Give it a couple more minutes here for people to get their notifications and get, hop into the chat. I know there are definitely more people that were waiting for this, but this subject matter tonight, the chicken coop murders, was suggested by our good friend Cement Shoes. So hopefully Cement Shoes will be able to make it tonight, but Cement Shoes has been under the weather recently. So there's a chance that maybe Cement Shoes will be able to make it, maybe not. I hope either way that Cement Shoes is able to make a quick recovery. Do, 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 do. Another 40 seconds, and then we'll get tonight's trivia going. I hope so. Last time Cement Shoes told us that they're Cement Shoes. I don't know if Cement Shoes is still in the hospital or not, but I hope not. Been a member for 51 months, channel member. Thank you very much, Cement Shoes, for being a channel member. It really does, help a lot to keep this content going. And I really do hope that you're feeling better. I hope you're on the mend. All right, let's get tonight's trivia going, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 348th episode of True Crime Trivia, 348th episode. Again, thank you to everyone who has been here before. And for the new viewers who are watching this now live and afterwards, I'm glad you could stop in and check out this content. This program documents actual crimes and offenses by criminals. Some of the content covered here may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. This trivia night strictly adheres to factual evidence and verified data from the FBI and the Department of Justice. It does not include conspiracy theories, speculation, and unverified claims about what may have happened. If you are seeking sensationalism or content related to similar theories or lies spread by those who can't be bothered to do research on the actual topic, this event and topic may not be the right fit for you. Neither I nor my advertisers or sponsors associated with this content shall be held responsible for individuals under the age of 17 accessing this material. I do not just stream this content to YouTube. I stream this to 3 different platforms, and that has more to do with the people who comment on those platforms as opposed to those who are here in the YouTube content area and community. Additionally, we are not reliable for comments or live chat messages, as these do not necessarily reflect our views or opinions. You shouldn't just take this information as entertainment. You should also take it as an education. That is a quote from Marcus Lattimore. Question number 1 is now on your screen. Who was the main perpetrator of the Wineville chicken coop murders? Was it A, Stuart Northcott, B, Samuel Northcott, C, Samantha Northcott, or D, Barry Morphew? You can simply, in the comment section, answer A, B, C, or D. And good evening, Mel. And welcome to tonight's trivia. You can't stay, but just wanted to say hello. Well, hello, Mel. And I hope you have a terrific week ahead. Thank you for stopping in and saying hello. Question number 1 of 20. And I need to get myself in my little window. A little window. Do you guys prefer this or that? I'm trying to click on this stupid thing. Is that too small? To me, I'd rather have it like this myself, but that's just me. Question number 1 of 20. Who is the main perpetrator of the Wineville chicken coop murders? The correct answer is A as in apple, Stuart Northcott. Stuart Northcott was the main perpetrator of the Wineville chicken coop murders. Question number 2. What year did the Wineville chicken coop murders take place? And good evening, Lita. Was it A, 1930 to 1932? B, 1926 to 1928? C, 1924 to 1926? Or D, 1928 to 1930? This way is good because the question is big. I prefer it this way, and not so much that I'm in a little window. If I could find a way to make like the trivia questions, like I don't know, maybe 70% and 30% me, in that aspect ratio. I mean, it's something that I've thought about and have tried to play around with a little bit in the past. But I'd have to do some adjustment to the actual trivia and how it, maybe instead of it being so long this way, maybe condense it down this way so it's more, that way. ASAP Lizzie, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a wonderful week, Lizzie. I'm glad you could be here with us. Question number 2. What year did the Wineville chicken coop murder? And I know it's year is singular and not plural, and all the options there are plural for multiple years. I do know that. I did see that. I'd love to be able to participate, but my health is kicking up a terrible fuss today. I understand, Mel. I hope you get better soon. Meep. Good evening, Meep. Welcome to tonight's trivia. The correct answer for question number 2 is B as in boy, 1926 to 1928. Question number 3. Which U.S. state did the murders occur in? Was it A, Washington State, B, Texas, C, Oklahoma, or D, California? What state did the Wineville chicken coop murders take place in? So do I, says Mel. Mel wants to be on the mend. So everyone say a prayer for Mel and for Cement Shoes, or just send them good wishes that they are on the mend. And everyone else who is under the weather currently, being sick sucks. Knock on wood. I don't have any chronic health issues myself, and I know what it's like, though. Question number 2, the correct answer is D as in dog. In the state of California, the Wineville chicken coop murders took place in California. Did you know, during one part of the investigation into the missing children cases, the police actually believed these children had all run away and would eventually return, ignoring the reports of the missing for months on end. They believed these children ran away from home. Question number 4. What was the name of the Gordon Stewart Ranch? Was it A, Paradise Vista Ranch, B, Parasite Vista Ranch, C, Wineville Chicken Ranch, or D, Cracker Barrel Chicken Ranch? What was the name of Gordon Stewart's ranch? Good evening, Reichard. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I'm only listening. I'm driving through Moab, headed to Salt Lake City. Hi, everyone. Well, Reichard, with the weather that we had in the last couple of days, I'm just glad you're safe. I saw that there were, tragically, some people lost their lives in those high wind storms in Texas, and you said you were in Texas last. But I'm glad you're doing okay. Moab, that's where, part of it, that's where Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito were camping. It was in the Moab area when he actually murdered her. Was in Moab. See, I know nothing about this case, says Meat. Now, question number 4. The correct answer is Meep. It's C. You got it right. Wineville Chicken Ranch was the name of the actual ranch where these crimes took place, at the Gordon Stewart Ranch. Question number 5. Accomplice? Who did the court believe Stewart Northcott's primary accomplice in the murders was? Was it A, his brother Benjamin, B, his sister Louise, C, his mother Sarah, or D, his best friend Barry Morphew? If you're new here, you may notice a trend of things that will happen throughout the trivia questions where I will make fun of Barry Morphew. You may see also references to mountain lions or to the 144,000 from the book of Revelations, where we are poking fun at Lori and Chad Daybell with the book of, from the 144,000. Who was the primary accomplice with Northcott, Stewart Northcott? Northcott. I always want to say Northcott, not North. All right, the correct answer is C as in cat. His mother, Sarah, was the primary accomplice in the murders. His mother. Yes. Good luck finding Wineville on a map these days. The entire town, the city streets, the police force was renamed to what after the murders? Was it A, Los Angeles, B, Ocean City, C, Seaside, or D, Mira Loma? Good luck finding Wineville on a map these days. The entire town, city, and the police force was renamed to what after the murder? I've been trying to keep positive since 191. Trying to keep positive it will go a long ways. Hope is a powerful thing. Just keep the hope that you will get better if you're under the weather or if you have chronic conditions that can keep you down. Keep hope alive. Take it one day, 1 hour, 1 minute at a time that you need to. Gianna Marie is going with D as in dog. Dog. Question number 6 of 20. Alita, Meep, and Kitiku are going with D as well. Question number 6. The correct answer is, in fact, D as in dog. They renamed the entire thing Mira Loma, and every single street and area around there was renamed. They wanted to wipe this completely away. Forget that anything like this ever took place. Did you know during the investigation, 21 African Americans, 19 Latino Americans were arrested and questioned, along with every train hobo, that is someone who jumps trains and goes from town to town, they could find, believing that these were, and this is a quote, criminally retarded man. These were the crimes of a criminally retarded man. That is how they actually listed it in the actual investigation report. Criminally retarded man. We obviously, in today's society, we don't use the word retard or retarded anymore, but that is how they listed it back then. These were the crimes of a criminally retarded man. Question number 7 of 20. What missing child led authority to investigate Stewart Northcott and the ranch? Was it A, Walter Collins, B, Honey Boo Boo, C, Samuel Collins, or D, Matthew James? Question number 7 of 20. What missing child led authorities to investigate Stuart Northcott and the ranch? Question number 7. I have to read about this. That was a pretty horrific case. I don't know, and until Cement Shoes mentioned it last time we did trivia as a suggestion for trivia night, I never heard of this case, and I cannot for the life of me understand how I missed it. I mean, there's so many different sources and outlets and people that I know who have covered this case or have written books about it or done research on it, and for some reason it just flew past my radar completely. I'm really surprised. Otherwise we would have covered this, the chicken coop murders a long time ago, and particularly Stuart Northcott and his mother. We would have covered them. And good evening, lemon pie. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Question number 7. The correct answer is A, as in apple. Walter Collins was the missing child that initially the investigation made them turn their attention to Stuart Northcott when Walter Collins disappeared. Question number 8. Mistakes were made, lies were spread. Which Los Angeles police officer falsely claimed Walter Collins had been found? Was it A, B, C, or D? You cannot get this one wrong. The correct answer is Captain J.J. Jones. So whichever one you pick, A, B, C, or D, you're going to be correct. Call it a freebie, an underhanded pitch. I'm giving you here. Any one of the above is the correct answer because they're all the same. A, B, C, or D. Kitty Coop. A, double question mark, LOL. Question number 8. Any answer you give is the correct answer. All right. Well, with that said, we're going on to the next one. Question number 9 of 20. No one ever got a real answer to why. However, what was the name of the boy who claimed to be Walter Collins to the press and to Captain J.J. Jones? Was it A, Arthur B. Carlson from WKRP in Cincinnati? Or was it B, Arthur Hutchins Jr.? Or was it C, Arthur Ronnie James Dio? Or D, Arthur Blank? Question number 9 of 20. No one ever really got an answer to why. However, what was the name of the boy who claimed to be Walter Collins to the press and to Captain J.J. Jones? Lemon pie is going to go with King Arthur? King Arthur, yeah. Scary looking man. The photo you see on the screen here, in case you can't tell, is of the actual chicken coop where all the murders took place, and that is a wheelbarrow that is stacked up, that's sitting next to where the chickens actually roosted in the coop itself. This entire crime scene was very well documented. they made some huge mistakes throughout the investigation and the arrest and everything else, and even more during the trial. But they did get a conviction in the case. Question number 9. The correct answer is B, as in boy. Arthur Hutchinson Jr. was the boy who told the authorities and Captain J.J. Jones that he was, in fact, Walter Collins. Question number 10. Threatened to be locked away, told she was having emotional women's issues. What did Christina Collins do after the police insisted Arthur Hutchinson Jr. was her son? Was it A, she vanished, B, she put the boy up for adoption, C, she raised the boy anyways, or D, she sued the fuck out of the LAPD? And sorry for the cursing. What did she do? Question number 10 of 20. Gianna Marie is going with D, so it's Kitty Q. Lemon Pie is going with E. Had a glass of wine. She just like kicked back and rolled with it. Meep is going with B. Lita is going with A. Question number 10 of 20. Let me see. A, B, C, and D. Question number 10 of 20. All right. The correct answer for question number 10 of 20 is D. So J.J. Jones, the captain of the LAPD, when this little boy came to him, Arthur Hutchinson Jr., came to the LAPD and told them that he was Walter, they went to the mother to bring the child back home and said, "We found your son." And she said, "Oh, hell no, that is not my boy. I know what my son looks like." They told her that she was having an emotional women's issues, and they threatened to lock her away in a state mental hospital because she refused to acknowledge that this boy was hers. She swore up and down to anyone, that she was right, and that this boy she had never seen before, and it certainly wasn't her son. But the LAPD was not having anything of it. So after all of this went away, and they finally, admitted, okay, the boy was lying. It's not your son, Walter, who disappeared. She sued the LAPD and she won a lot of money. A lot. And depending upon which version you go with, it was close to her total reward back then was close to $100,000 back in the 1920s, which is a lot of damn money. Now, there are different accounts online. If you take the total amount, there are some people that report how much she actually got after attorney's fees as the total that she was awarded. But if you take the total, what the jury and everything gave her, and the total payout, it was $100,000. That's a lot of money in the 1920s. But they damn near destroyed this lady by telling her that this boy that wasn't hers was hers. And she was like, "No, I know what my son looks like. That's not my son." They didn't even look anything alike. I mean, one had darker hair than the other. One was taller than the other. But anyways, that is our first 10 questions. It is now our break time. We always take a break at this point in time. If you're new here, this break will be a total of 7 minutes in length. While we're actually doing the break, you go do what you need to do. Shotgun a beer, smoke a bowl, make a sandwich, make a glass of tea. Think of a rhyme that has to do with Marsha Brady. I don't care. You do you for the next 7 minutes. But while we're on this break from the trivia questions, I'm going to show you cases of 2 missing individuals from across the United States. These are active, ongoing missing cases. Even if the case is old, they're still investigating them. I decided to share that I am working in collaboration with several incredible organizations to help raise awareness about missing and endangered individuals. These include the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which tirelessly works to locate missing children and prevent exploitation, along with the Charlie Project, an invaluable database documenting missing persons cases from across the United States, the FBI, which investigates critical cases involving missing persons, and NamUs, the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System, which provides tools and resources to solve missing and unidentified persons cases, along with state and local law enforcement agencies, including the District of Columbia. Starting in later part of 2025, actually next month, I will be working with the DOE network to highlight a dozen missing cold cases. Together, we aim to shine a light on these cases, support the families impacted, and keep these stories alive in hopes of bringing a resolution. The first missing person case, and this is the update about the DOE network next month. The first one is Dennis Lee Anderson. He would be age 61 as of 2024. He was last seen on 9/15 of 2000. I need to make sure you understand, just because he was last seen and reported in, and anybody who knew him saw him on 9/15/2000, does not mean that is when he vanished and something nefarious happened to him. There is information that his name, Dennis Lee Anderson, or his nickname, Denny Anderson, has entered into some homeless shelters in and around the state of California and Utah since that 2000 date. He was last seen in Murray, California, officially. He is 5'9", 160 pounds on average, blue eyes. He has a discoloration of skin on, it is a birthmark on his right forearm. Again, he goes by the nickname of Denny or D. Very little else is known about his disappearance. And these 2 additional photos, if you take a look at them, are of the same man, taken within 1 year of the actual photo that I just showed you. So take a look at these 2 photos to your left here, and then that picture there. These are all within 1 year of each other. That's how drastic his looks have changed over the course of a year. No, the one in black and white is not an older photo, like, when he was like 16. No. Again, I can't stress this enough. They're all within 1 year, according to the FBI. If you know anything about the disappearance or anything that may help bring a resolution to this case, you can call the Murray City Police Department at 801-264-2673. Or you can leave a tip on the Facebook group that is actually tracking the tips that come in through the FBI as they investigate it. The Facebook group is run by friends and family members of Denny or D himself. Next missing case is of Tristan Allen Myers. He would be 28 years of age today as of 2024. He was last seen on 10/5 of 2000 in Roseboro, North Carolina. He was 3'1", 38 pounds with blue eyes at the time of his disappearance. And as you can probably guess, this is a child abduction case from the Missing and Exploited Children's Network. Tristan Allen was abducted by a non-family member. Tristan moved to Roseboro, North Carolina in August of 2000 to live with his great aunt and great uncle. He wandered away from the home's residency on October 5th of 2000 while his great aunt was napping and has never been heard from again. Tristan was accompanied by his dog Sasha, a black Doberman puppy, and Buck, a tan three-legged Chihuahua mix at the time of the disappearance. Both of the dogs were later found wandering in a school like a side yard, but Tristan was nowhere around. Again, this is a non-family member abduction, meaning somebody took Tristan, and Tristan had only moved to that area and had been in that area for a very short period of time at that time when he was abducted, again on October 5th of 2000. The photo that is here now from the Missing and Exploited Children is an age-enhanced photo of what Tristan would look like today. Tristan may not even know that he is Tristan, nor would he possibly know, depending upon the circumstances, if he was even kidnapped. Maybe he thought he was only staying at his great aunt's or that house for a little bit, but after 24 years since his disappearance, going on the 25th year, all right, he probably doesn't even know. But if you see this photo, and if you know anything about Tristan or someone who looks like Tristan in and around the Roseboro, North Carolina area, you can leave a tip, and you can remain anonymous by leaving a tip at this number, 910-592-4141. Again, there is a very good likelihood that Tristan doesn't even know that he is missing and that he has been taken by somebody else. Why was Tristan moved to his great aunt and great uncle's home? His mother and his father, who basically wasn't even in his life at all, but his mother had substance abuse issues and an issue with drugs. She has been cleared, and she was actually hundreds of miles away at the time when Tristan disappeared. So they know that Tristan wasn't taken by her. Again, the classification for Tristan is non-family abduction. Today's headline story doesn't have to mean forgotten tomorrow. Please bring home Orrin and Orson West and others today. Orrin and Orson West, ages 4 and 3 at the time they were killed by their adoptive parents, Trezell and Jacqueline West, who have been convicted of their death but refused to tell authorities where their remains are. The family and friends of the West family will never get closure until they actually get the remains back and they can lay them to rest. But again, just because they're not in today's headline story doesn't mean that they should be forgotten tomorrow. It's just like the two cases that I just presented you. Just because the cases are old doesn't mean that they're not still alive. They may not even know that they are missing and that someone is looking for them. You still have a couple minutes left of your break. You have 2 minutes and 20 seconds approximately left of your break. And then we'll get back to the trivia itself. Very true, Kitty Coo. No. I hope Cement Shoes and everyone who is under the weather or has chronic health issues is able to somehow, get better soon. Again, if you have to, take it minute by minute, hour by hour. Count the little blessings that you have. One minute and 20 seconds left of your break. 1 minute and 20 seconds. And then we will get back to our trivia. Do, do, do. 20 seconds left. Meep says she hopes that Jacqueline and Trissell rot in hell. So do I. I can't understand why anyone would ever want to hurt a child. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Without any further delay, let's get back to our normal programming. Question number 11. Without the help and testimony from one key witness, a conviction in this case may have never happened. Who rolled over and snitched on Northcott? Was it A, Red Sanford, B, Sanford and Son, C, Sanford Clark, or D, Clark Griswold? Without the key evidence and testimony from one key witness, a conviction in this case may have never happened. Who rolled over and snitched on Northcott? I'm sure you do, Mel. We're all just pulling for you and hoping that that there is relief from your chronic health issues. Forgot to put myself back in my little window. My little window. Will in this little window. Question number 11 of 20. Grady from Sanford and Sons. Yeah, now I got that theme song stuck in my head. All right, the answer to question number 11 is C, as in cat. Sanford Clark, who's the nephew of Northcott, who was actually forced into helping him clean up the Coop. Sanford Clark rolled over and testified against Northcott and his mother in the crime, and without his testimony, the conviction most likely never would have happened, because they, again, this is the 1920s. They didn't have, a lot of really good forensic, investigation tools back then. Question number 12. Sadly, law enforcement was never able to find out just how many victims there were of these crimes. What is the best estimated number, though? Is it A, 11, maybe 15 victims, B3, C 16 to 19, or D 20 to 25. Question number 12 of 20. Sadly, law enforcement was never able to find out just how many victims there were of these crimes. What is the best estimated number, though? How many victims were there estimated? Question number 12. I actually know a doctor locally to me who has several of Red Sanford's actual paintings, originals. These are original artwork. He painted pictures of clowns. He has them up in his receptionist area for where the patients are, the reception area. I think he has 4 of them in the reception area. They're real paintings by Red Fox. One victim, his photographer. Kitty go C or D? And D. But more than 3 were suspected. What does the FBI believe is the estimated number of total victims? Question number 12. They believe that there were as many as 21 victims, maybe as many as 25. D as in dog is the correct answer for the chicken coop murders. He was convicted of only 3. Convicted. Question number 13. What kind of rundown, poorly painted, leaking roof building did Northcott imprison his victims in to torture them and eventually kill them in? Was it A, a fallout shelter, B, a chicken coop, or C, a single room house, or D, a garage? Question number 13 of 20. What kind of rundown, poorly painted, leaking roof building did Northcott imprison his victims in to torture them and eventually kill them in? Correct, Mel. D as in dog was the correct answer for the last question. 21 to 25 is what the FBI believes the estimated number of victims were. And you might be wondering, well, how does the FBI determine that number? There were a total of 34 children that disappeared within the time period from in and around the Los Angeles and the Wineville area. 34 children, and they believe that Northcott and his mother probably killed and got rid of 20 of them. 21 to 25. Sorry, but that's just a guess. No one really knows for sure. E and Arby's. Challenge your stomach to a fight today at Arby's. All right, question number 13. The correct answer is B as in boy, a chicken coop. Hence the name, the chicken coop murders. He imprisoned them in a chicken coop and tortured them and murdered them in a chicken coop. And the building was barely a building at all. If you see any pictures online of the outside of it, it looked over. In 1983, a field that was next to the Wineville chicken farm was under development, and they found 3 mass graves. People speculated these were more missing children. Turned out these were all the remains of chickens, goats, and dogs that were in a pit. What do you do with a chicken that dies? You dig a hole and you throw it in. Or if you're Chad Daybell, you throw it into a fire pit and set it on fire, right? Well, okay. But these 3 pits that they found on this adjoining piece of property, the only remains that they found in them were of dogs, goats, and chickens. The goats were probably slaughtered for the meat, and they just threw the bones into a pit. And dog dies, you just throw it into a pit, and bury it. But the rampant speculation that took place in 1983 about that it was these were mass graves of children, turned out not to be true after all. Question number 14. With as many victims as estimated, between 20 and 25, how many was Northcott actually convicted of killing? Was it A, 3, B, 4, C, 5, or D, 6? I think you might be a little bit behind, Mel. Or are you just now commenting on it? Either way, it's okay. How many victims, as estimated between the 25 and 25, 20 to 25, how many was he actually convicted of murdering? Question number 14 of 20. The correct answer is A, as in apple. He was convicted of only 3 murders. 3 murders. And Walter Collins was not one of them. Question number 15. After Sarah Louise Northcott was discovered to be involved, she confessed to everything and then some. What happened to her? Sarah Louise Northcott was his mother. What happened to her? Was it A, no jail time, given immunity? B, no jail time and moved away? C, 10 years in prison, 5 years of probation? Or D, given a life sentence? What happened to Sarah Louise Northcott after she confessed to the murders and then some? Pauly Shore. What happened to Sarah Louise Northcott after she confessed? Question number 15 of 20. Must watch season 1 of Star Trek. TNG. It's been an awfully long time since I've seen a single episode of Star Trek. The last time I watched an episode of Star Trek was probably 1990-ish, somewhere in there. I mean, I enjoy Star Trek, the original Star Trek. I enjoyed some of the later ones with Data, but just wasn't really my jive. Good show though. I know there's a lot of about which one was a better captain, Picard, or and the fights over who was better. There are people who are on each side of the fandom of that. The Next Generation. She moved in with Barry Morphew. All right, question number 15. The correct answer is D, as in dog. She was given a life sentence for her involvement in the murders. In her actual confession to law enforcement, she didn't tell them how many children that her son actually killed. She refused to put a number to it. Again, another reason why the FBI does not believe they have a true number of, say, like, oh, it's definitely 21 victims. But she did tell them bits and pieces of different things that she did and confessed to helping her son clean up and dispose of evidence in the actual crimes itself, and that she knew what he was up to, what he was doing, and she knew before he actually stopped. Like, she found out at one point that he was killing these kids, and she didn't go to the authorities or do anything about it. She just let it keep on happening, and she became an accomplice to the crime. But she was given a life sentence for her involvement. Question 16. In 2008 movie was based on the court transcripts and notes and confessions of the Wineville murder. What movie was it? Was it A, Don't Peek, B, Don't Say a Word, C, Changeling, or D, Angelina's Story? What 2008 movie was based on the court transcripts, notes, and confessions of the Wineville murders? Back to Walter Collins quickly. Whatever happened to Walter Collins, the boy who disappeared, that the FBI and local law enforcement initially, drew attention to Northcott to be investigated for the crimes? What happened to Walter? He was most likely one of the victims of Northcott, but they could never prove that he did actually kill him. But he is most likely dead because he never, popped up anywhere. And DNA from the mother and the father, Walter's parents, are still to this day in CODIS. So in case someone else was ever to have popped up in the history from 1930 going forward, obviously they didn't collect DNA in 1930. They collected it much, much later. I think it was in the 1990s. From evidence that was still preserved and they could extract the DNA profile from. But they actually put them into CODIS in case someone else out there may have been Walter Collins's children or grandchildren or something else, but nothing has ever matched. So they believe that he was definitely murdered, but they can't prove that Northcott actually did it. All right, the answer to question number 16 is Changeling. Was the 2008 movie starring Angelina Jolie and was directed by Clint Eastwood. Angelina Jolie played Walter Collins's mother. That is the abducted boy who they were going to lock up in a sanitarium mental hospital because she refused to say that this boy who wasn't hers was hers. And she played that part, Walter Collins's mother. Did you know, according to their Biblo, there have been over 20 books written about the Wineville murders. Stop buying your books from Amazon and go buy them on Biblo, a trusted online venue for all your book needs. And that is a link just to the Biblo website, the website that I used to sell quite a few books on back in the day. Amazon is not the only place to get free shipping or cheap shipping on items. You can go to Biblo. A lot of sellers on there include the shipping cost in the price of the actual item itself. And no, they're not more expensive than going to Amazon. Question number 17 of 20. What infamous criminal case did the Wineville murders coincide with? Was it A, Barry Morphew's father's murders? B, the Black Dahlia murder? C, Ram Jam's Black Betty? Or D, Betty Brunson murder? What infamous criminal case did the Wineville murders coincide with? Question 17 of 20. Dun, 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 dun. I got that in my head now. Addams Family. Dun, 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 dun. Because doesn't he look like he should be on the Addams Family? He could be like one of the, like, Lurch or something on the Addams Family. You rang. And Meep, you were right. They are evil. Very evil people. Mel's going with B, I believe. I think B. I'm going with Cement Shoes on this one. Cement Shoes is going with D. Kitty Q's going D. Lita is going with B. Question number 17 of 20. The correct answer is B, as in boy. The Black Dahlia murders, the Black Dahlia murder took place at about the same time as the Wineville murders took place. Black Dahlia. Question number 18. Before his execution for the murders, what did Northcott spend months doing that was disturbing and completely puzzling to law enforcement? Was it A, he wrote bogus confessions? B, he blamed others? C, he drew pictures of the victims? Or D, he pointed the finger at Barry Morphew? Question number 18 of 20. Before his execution for the murders, what did Northcott spend months doing that was disturbing and completely puzzling to law enforcement? D. Lemon Pie says it coincided with the Jersey Shore. Question number 18 of 20. Kitty Crew is going with C? Question mark? I don't know. Could be C. Maybe. I don't know. A binge watched Becker. Why is that? I remember that there was a television show, Becker. Was that with Ted Danson? Becker? Good evening, Purple. Welcome to tonight's trivia. You never know who's going to be standing next to you next, and you never know who's going to be knocking at your door. Question number 18. What disturbing and completely puzzling to law enforcement act did Northcott do, spending months before his execution doing? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is C as in cat. He drew pictures of little children that in one picture, one side of the picture would be of the child, they're crude drawings. They weren't good. They only a couple of them actually survived that are known to be around today that he did. But one was of the child, and then the second picture next to it would be of the child chopped up in little pieces. But he spent months doing this over and over again. Were they the same child? I mean, he was definitely didn't have any real artistic talent, but he did it anyways. But C as in cat, he drew pictures. Harmless little self-promotion. Again, if you want to support this content, there are mugs and shirts and stuff available for sale, from my merch store. That does help, keep this content alive. Question number 19 of 20. What happened to Walter Collins? I already gave you the answer to this if you may have remember. Was it A, he was adopted, B, he ran away, C, unknown, likely murdered, or D, they came to snuff the rooster and him? What most likely happened to Walter Collins? It could lemon pie. You was probably getting the charcoal pencil, and paper from other inmates. They could stop him, from being able to get it, but then he just trade, something with somebody else. I can't remember who. It's kind of like what's it? John Wayne Gacy. I mean, Gacy, they didn't have to give him paints, and canvases and stuff to paint on. They could have stopped him from painting more creepy clown pictures, but it kept him occupied. And there, when he was occupied, he wasn't spending his time creeping out the guards and all the other fellow inmates near him. He starred on 2.5 Men. What happened to Walter Collins? The correct answer is C as in cat. Unknown. But again, the FBI believes that he was murdered by Northcott, but they can't prove it. They can't prove that he actually, was murdered by him, but the higher likelihood was that is what happened to him. Question number 20 of 20. In the 2008 movie, who played the role of Christina Collins, the mother who sued the F out of the LAPD that they tried to put in a mental hospital? Was it A, Lane Staley, B, Eddie Vedder, C, Angelina Jolie, or D, Betty White? In the 2008 movie, who played the role of Christine Collins, the mother of Walter Collins, who sued the LAPD for trying to put her in a mental hospital? The TV Ted Danson. I was right. I kind of remembered that. It was Becker. It was what he did after Cheers. Alice in Chains, right? Yes, Kitty Q. They came to snuff the rooster. The previous question, yes, that was definitely an Alice in Chains reference. So on the last question, I forgot to say, on question number 19, if you answered either C or D, you got it right, because both of them were unknown. Was C most likely murdered, and D was they came to snuff the rooster and him. So both of them have to do with murder. So if you answered C or D for question number 19, you got it correct. Mel Stiller is going to go with C, Angelina Jolie. And yes, question number 20 of 20, the correct answer is C, as in cat, Angelina Jolie. There were many errors made during this investigation and the criminal trial. This is the main reason they will never know how many victims there really was. The mistrust in the LAPD really started right then and there across all demographics. Sadly, it has never gotten any better. Since the 1920s, ladies and gentlemen, 1930s, the LAPD has been mistrusted by the community as a whole because of the stunts, and starting then with, JJ, Jones, the captain of the police of the LAPD, who tried to convince a lady that, this other child was her own son, and, and trying to force her to, to take the boy and say that Walter Collins had been found. Right then and there, people have not trusted the LAPD. That going back before then, probably, but they certainly haven't trusted them since then. So how did you do on tonight's trivia? Did you get an A, B, C, or a D? Again, this is completely optional. We are only here to play for fun and entertainment. Of the 20 questions on tonight's trivia, I knew 0. If you got one of them right, you got more than me. I would have gotten a fat 0 on them. I didn't know anything about this case until last week, again, when Cement Shoes suggested it. And I was like, how in the hell did I miss this case? I mean, talk about, socially, important and the crime, the investigation, things that they learned, and, after this on how to collect evidence and preserve evidence started from the Wineville murders and then California, and then that spread out like, across the United States. People learned out by, examining the case and saying, well, this is where they made errors, and not only in the investigation and the charging and everything else, and then there were errors in the actual court case itself. A lot of things were learned from this case across the criminal justice system and investigation. And I'm just baffled at the fact that I missed this. But thank you again to Cement Shoes for suggesting this case. And immediately after last Sunday, when Cement Shoes suggested it, I started looking into it that night, and then posted, on the community tab, Cement Shoes, you've got a great one here. It skipped all the other ones that I have done. All right. Poll question. You do not have to answer this poll question now. It will be on the community tab tomorrow if you want to answer it then, and you can also leave a comment there or here in tonight's live stream. But the poll question that'll be on the community tab by 10 a.m. tomorrow is the following. Should there be stronger restrictions on what inmates receive in the mail from family or from commissary? Yes, no, maybe, it depends on the inmate, or no opinion. I do like hip hop music though. Should there be stronger restrictions on what inmates receive in the mail from their family or from commissary? There are a lot of TikTok videos out there and TikTok channels that you will discover of inmates who have acquired cell phones and behind bars. In just the state of Georgia, ladies and gentlemen, last year they're actually pretty good, just like the state of Florida, because of sunshine laws is what they're called. But in the state of Georgia, they released their information last year in all institutions, jails, city jails, county jails, lockups, state prisons, and in the federal system. They confiscated over 7,000 cell phones last year in just the state of Georgia in the year 2024. They're getting in multitudes of different ways. Guards are sneaking them in. Those who are coming to visitation are sneaking them in. You know, people are putting them inside of foam footballs and throwing them over the fence, or into yards. But they're getting in. Over 7,000 cell phones were seized last year in just the state of Georgia. Next week, the statistics will come out for the state of Florida. So that's next week. And no, it's not always Georgia first, then Florida. It just happened to work out that way this year. Stay safe out there. You never know who's standing next to you, and you never know who's going to knock in on your door. Yes, you stay safe at home. You stay safe as well, Purple. You might be wondering, so we did the Wineville chicken coop murders. What is coming up next? What is the next trivia night? I do want to thank everyone before I tell you about what is the next trivia night. Thank you for being here tonight and playing along. I really appreciate it. Next week, trivia is on Christopher Watts and the murders. We're going to answer 20 questions about the strangest, bizarre facts that have to do with the Watts murders next week. Watts murders, strange facts is the trivia subject matter for next week. It would have been this week, but I once the Cement Shoes suggested it, I was like, I got to do the Wineville one first. But next week will be the Watts murders, strange facts about the case. Maybe you'll know them, maybe you won't. But if you want to study up and read about the Watts case between now and then, do so. In Washington, they get tablets in jail. Not all jails, Purple, but in a vast majority of them, they do. Not in Benton County or Franklin County. Benton and Franklin County, they actually came up for the vote on it, and they decided because they have an actual it's a bond issue, and they gave it and they put it on the ballot for people to actually vote. Do you want CCTV or tablets for inmates in county lockup here in the counties? And Franklin County voted to allow inmates to have CCTV but no tablets. Benton County went the same way. So they have to sit at a kiosk, and the tablet is actually attached to the kiosk itself. They can't walk around with it. But yes, in Snohomish and quite a few other counties in the state, they can get tablets and they can bring them to their cells and watch movies and stuff like that on them. And they can actually buy the tablets from commissary and then download movies to them. Super Chat Cat, good evening. But that is all of the trivia for tonight. Again, if you want to study up on strange facts around the Christopher Watts case, the murder of his family, that is next week's trivia subject. I've already have it done, so we're doing it next week. Depends on the crime, says Meep. Meep, meep. Watts shouldn't get a cell phone or commissary. Well, no inmate in prison, it doesn't matter if it's in the state prison or in the federal system, is allowed to have a cell phone. They are smuggled in. But some of these inmates are absolutely brazen in what they're doing. They run TikTok channels and they're making money from inside of jail with a cell phone, and they have it out in the open because the staff they're so understaffed they can't police the what's going on behind bars. But commissary, well, if Christopher Watts didn't get commissary, then we wouldn't have anything to make fun of because he's becoming a little chunky boy from what I hear. Pomegranate tea. I am addicted to this stuff. I make one of these things every like 3 days. It's that good. I can't remember. It's called Love something or something like that. I get it off of Amazon. It's just like a regular tea, and I make it really strong, and then I dilute it out and make it cold. You know very little about his crimes. I gotta get the WD-40 out and spray the metal underside of the chair I'm sitting on. I'm sorry for everybody having to hear it squeak all through the stream. Squeak, 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 squeak every time I move. Strange and bizarre facts around the Christopher Watts and the Watts family murders. These are not like, you're running the mill, like, what state did it take place in? How many victims of Christopher Watts were there? These are strange, some pretty bizarre facts when you look back on it. The Christopher Watts case was popular before you joined the true crime community. Well, it made a lot of people, I guess, internet famous. Not me. I've gotten more backlash from it and more hatred than I care to ever, explain. I've been doxxed over it. I've been harassed over it. I've been threatened. I have had my life threatened. I've had my wife threatened. Her work was called. They tried to contact my son's school to find out if he was in school that day. All over the Christopher Watts case. The rabid fans, who listened to that jackass, and his channel, that went full tilt on me just because I tried to offer help to him. It's insane. But 100% of the proceeds that, for AdSense money that I make off of everything and every donation that I receive during any content about Christopher Watts from day one, I've never profited a dime off of it. Every single dime, and next Sunday, any AdSense money that I make or donations to, super chats or whatever, I donate to the United States Lupus Foundation. And because that is a charity that Shanann supported wholeheartedly because she had lupus. And I don't care who out there wants to argue that she didn't. It's bull and it's pointless. She had said she had it. She believed she had it. Her doctors believe she had it. Therefore, she had it. She had lupus. So, and that's where I've given every dime of it. And I'm perfectly happy with that. Commissary videos. They say if you spray WD-40 around the outside of windows frames of your doors, wasps won't nest there. I'll tell you something that works even better than that, Kitty Q. Skin So Soft. That is the name of the actual product. Skin So Soft. It's a lotion, okay? And you get it from Avon. You can put it around the doors and windows, and you won't get mosquitoes, aphids, spiders, they all hate the smell of it. And you can put it into you can make like a bug trap. Take a 2-liter bottle, cut the bottom off it, and invert a piece of chicken on a string through the cap, and then hang it up on a tree. So the wasps can fly in, but they can't fly back out. So what you do is you cut the bottom off, and then you cut slots in it, and then you put it in there so it, the bottom's back on it. They fly in through the holes that you puncture around the outside of it. They can't figure out how to come back out because the chicken is what attracts them. Piece of raw chicken. Perfect wasp killer. I have the I'm not joking. We have beehives, and bees and wasps are mortal enemies of each other. But wasp and yellow jackets will attack beehives. And it's a look at that. It's a giant source of food. But I actually make these things out of 2-liter bottles. They're so simple to make. All you need is a little bit of string and a piece of chicken in a 2-liter bottle. But I make them and I put them next to my beehives. Skin so soft. Yep. It's that Avon. Avon calling. It's the only place I know of that's the skin so soft. I don't get Avon magazine thing anymore. I'm sorry. I'll ask my mother-in-law if she knows of any place else that has it. Maybe you can get it on Amazon. I mean, hell, Amazon has everything else, right? While we all become, more and more polluted in our landfills from all the boxes and packaging material that comes from Amazon. We're not thinking about that, but everything's so convenient right at our fingertips. In a couple of seconds, it's at our doorstep the next day. I can't get fresh delivery, the Amazon Fresh, fruits and vegetables and stuff from them. We don't have one of their warehouse distribution centers near us. We have a warehouse one town over, and there are millions of items I can get in less than 3 hours. Boom. I can go on there and I can order an entire, tow hitch system for my truck. It weighs like 85 pounds. I can get that on my doorstep in 3 hours. Not that I need one. I already have them, but I mean, I can get it. How about a couple of cases of beer or whatever? You can get it delivered to your house. Definitely look it up. Yeah, it works great. But my mother-in-law buys a bottle of it. One bottle of it will last year, around, because I put it around all the entry points, and it doesn't leave an icky residue, on the wood or anything that can't be washed off. I mean, all you do is take a garden hose to it and washes right off. So it's not going to hurt the paint. Because I've been doing it for years. We've lived in this house now. This will be our 7 years since we moved here. 6 years? No, 6 years. 6 years since we moved here. And I've done it every year. And I one bottle. I mean, we're not. I think they come in like 3 different sizes, but I think it's like 14-ounce bottle is what will last me a year. Good night, Gianna Marie. I hope you have a terrific week ahead. And to everybody else out there, before you take off, please hit that thumbs up button if you would. It helps just a little bit to help move this content out and be suggested to others. And the more people we get that watch these trivia nights, the better it is for everyone. Just because we have an awesome community doesn't mean we don't have room for more. The drugstore has Skin So Soft. Your drugstore does? Well, that's good. I didn't know that. I just know that my mother-in-law gets it from Avon. I gotta find someone locally though to me that still does Pampered Chef. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Pampered Chef. I joke. I'm not joking when I tell you, me and my wife, when my daughter was a toddler, We bought a garlic press, a frying pan, a chopper, and a colander from Pampered Chef, and every single one of them are still in our house right now today and get used every single day. Every day. My family eats an absurd amount of garlic, and pasta. And then the frying pan, I use it every morning to make bacon for my son. But they still work just as well today as they did the day that I got them. Like they were brand new. And I'm talking, my daughter is now 26. So I've had them for over 26 years. They're somewhere in there, close to 26 years. Because she was just a toddler then, probably less than 2 years old. So maybe 25 years I've had them. But Pampered Chef, they're like the Avon kind of like, deal where you have to go to a party to buy their stuff, or at least I think you have to. That's how I bought them 25 years ago. Will, I love Pampered Chef. Yeah, but the stuff is just phenomenally, made. I mean, you may pay a little bit more for it, but in the end of the day, I mean, this stuff lasts forever. And I can't beat the quality, but I have to find someone else because I want to get who does the Pampered Chef. I need to get a new garlic press thing. Yeah. I need to get another one. Not that there's anything wrong with the one that I have now. I just want to get another one. It's not always clean when I need to use it because somebody's already used it and they didn't bother to wash it. So I just want to get another one. A long-handled spoon, but flat tip. They sell a spoon with a flat tip. You can find them anywhere. Can't find them anywhere else. You get invites to those meet. That's the only thing I'm after though. It's just a one item. I just want to buy another one. I have my Grand's flat tip long spoon, but it's old, not Pampered Chef. LOL. Not slotted. Well, it's like that in Tupperware. So I was thinking about this the other day about Tupperware. I have a lot of Tupperware. I actually collect it, but not just for like to put on a shelf and stare at it. I collect it because it outlasts anything that compared to the stuff that they sell in the stores these days, especially like the containers, like the sugar, flour, salt, containers. And then the mixing bowls and storage bowls. There's just nothing like Tupperware in when it comes to the quality. But I was wondering this the other day. Why didn't Tupperware, now they've gone out, I do believe they've gone out of business, they went bankrupt. Why is it that Tupperware never made a line of dishes? I mean, they made yellow, they made greens, they made oranges, they made blues, every color of the rainbow. But why didn't they ever make a line of containers that were already spaghetti sauce colored? Why? Save me the time from having to stain them permanently with spaghetti sauce. Why didn't they ever offer a line that looked like spaghetti sauce? I bought 2 from Pampered Chef, so you have an extra. I'd have an extra. That's cool. I every chance I get when I go to like yard sales and stuff like that, it's the first thing I look for. Tupperware. Can't find a lot of that stuff these days. It's out there. It's got to be out there somewhere. Maybe it's just not my local area. But I've got measuring spoons and cups and storage containers. I've got two different the plastic pitchers with a push down like lid for them. Water pitchers, juice pitchers. I've got both sizes of those complete. I got one orange set and a yellow set for those. It's the world we live in now. Everything is disposable, and nobody wants to make anything that lasts forever anymore. I need a good ice cream scooper. Ice cream scoopers are hard to find. I bet you, Pampered Chef makes one though. Feel the need to buy more? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll ever buy, or have enough of, the Tupperware and stuff like that. Like the large storage bowls that I have like, I've got the green ones and I have a set of the orange ones. I never have enough of them, especially during the holidays when we're prepping, to make meals for 30 people. I can never have enough of them. So they come in handy then. And I use them throughout the rest of the year for, mixing and for salads and stuff like that. But I'm always on the hunt for more. I inherited, the one set from my great grandmother. That's how long that we've had them around. I think she got them in the 50s, and then she gave them to me when she was moving into a retirement home. Oh, the metal ones are sketchy. With plastic ones suck. I don't eat ice cream. If I do, it's very, very rare. And I never buy it at the store. I mean, my family does, but not me. But I'm going to end tonight's stream. I want to thank everyone again for being here tonight for trivia night and for hanging out and chatting during the stream and afterwards. I hope that everyone has a terrific week. And again, on the way out, if you would, quickly click on that and, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the content, give it a thumbs down. It's all an interaction. As much as people like to think that I'm going to punish that person by clicking thumbs down. It doesn't do a damn bit of the difference to the content. But thank you everyone again for being here. And I hope that everyone has a terrific week ahead. And remember, as Purple said, you never know who's going to be standing next to you next, and you never know who's going to be knocking at your door next. So stay safe out there. Bye.